Welcome back to the news at 10. Let's take a look at some of the pictures that you sent into our eyewitness portal. Let's begin with this one. It's about the floods. As happenings of floods has been trending lately. We have this picture our eyewitness reporter sent from Agungi and Osapa in Lekki, Lagos State, showing a blocked canal as the cause of this challenge. He says the government should please clear it up and fellow Nigerians should stop creating these problems themselves. Still in Lagos State is a picture from Obalende showing a refuse dump site under the bridge. Eyewitness reporters baffled at this act as it is beside the market. It's calling on agencies responsible to tackle the problem. Our third picture is from Abakaliki in Ebonyi State showing a dump site near a meat market. Our eyewitness reporters calling on the appropriate authorities to take immediate action to avoid an epidemic. Our final pictures from Lokoja, Kogi State showing students protesting at the state university as a result of strike. Our eyewitness reporters urging the state government to pay teachers their salaries as quickly as possible so as not to increase the amount of years students have to spend in school. Thanks for sending in those pictures and please keep them coming. Now, respite may soon come the way of many residents of the nation's capital city, Abuja, who have been battling with poor supply of electricity with the inauguration of a new transmission substation by the Federal Ministry of Power and the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company. The managing director of the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, Ernest Mupwaya, says the company is in collaboration with the Transmission Company of Nigeria is committed to maintaining an aggressive posture in delivering power to Abuja residents.
Stakeholders in the power sector convene with an agenda, uprooting fiscal and regulatory encumbrances to progress.
The ministry restates its commitment to working closely with the distribution companies to improve and invest in 33 kV and 11 kV infrastructure to ensure that their customers are all well served.
From the time the Honorable Minister took over to this period, despite numerous challenges being faced by the sector, there are visible signs supporting the argument that the power sector in Nigeria may be turning the corner. The usual discussion in the past about power deficit is gradually giving way to a different conversation about the increased generated power which is not being consumed. There's even talks about discourse rejecting power, which is a different discussion from having total, power deficit.
Immediately after power sector players engaged behind closed doors, they moved on to another area of need, infrastructure. Commissioning the Kukuaba transmission substation in Abuja to stabilize power supply in the FCT. Stakeholders say the enhanced synergy under the leadership of the ministry is yielding tangible dividends.
TCN will continue to stay ahead. We are going to be staying ahead of distribution. We are going to stay ahead of generation. We must provide capacity that is higher than all of them. And going forward, we are going for M-1 standard. So that any time the transformer fails or equipment fails, we don't feel it. Like what happened in Katampi, which was a very serious matter. We don't want that kind of thing to happen.
Commission this substation on behalf of the Honorable Minister, Power Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola.
Still a long journey to sufficiency in national power supply, but today's step in that direction was one celebrated by sector stakeholders.
Millicent Walker is here with Business News.
You first. First Bank.
Hi, thanks, Marati. Welcome to Business News. The United Nations Industrial Development Organization has announced plans to work with Nigerian universities towards helping young people attain entrepreneurial skills needed for self-reliance. Speaking at a meeting in Abuja, representatives of the UN agency expressed optimism that collaborations with Niger, Sokoto and Ogun states will fast-track development in the non-oil sector. The Central Bank of Nigeria today continued its intervention at the interbank forex market with the injection of $142.5 million. A breakdown of Monday's intervention shows that the regulator offered the sum of $100 million to dealers in the wholesale segment, while the sum of $23 million was allocated to the small and medium enterprises segment of the market. A total of $19.5 million was injected for invisibles, including tuition fees, medical payments, and basic travel allowance. Last Friday, the CBN boosted the retail segment of the forex market with a total $254.3 million following bids received from forex dealers. And over 100 Nigerians with skills in the textile and garment industry have been empowered via the Industrial Training Fund. Speaking during the handover of some of the items to the beneficiaries in Abuja, the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Aisha Abubakar, says the initiative will help reduce overdependence on white-collar jobs. On his part, the Director of the Industrial Training Fund, Mr. Joseph Ari, says the agency will continue to deploy its mobile training workshops across the country. Well, the second trading week of July kicked off with an upbeat momentum and a further recovery of 0.48% earlier today. BC Adebayo has the details.
The bulls renewed dominance on the local stock market on Monday as equities start off the second week of July up nearly 0.5%. The day's comeback, which follows the large positive sessions recorded on Thursday and Friday, brings total market value up by 60 billion naira to 11.42 trillion naira. However, overall transactions saw a low turnover of 182.07 million shares traded by investors for over 2.02 billion naira in 3,710 deals. GT Bank, FCMB and Zenith Bank pulled the most significant volume of trades to emerge in the top 3 position on the activity chart. 26 gainers comprising mostly bank, healthcare and some industrial stocks were led by Flour Mills, CNI Leasing and Red Star Express, while Union Bank, Sky Bank and AJ Leventis were the top losers for the session. And that's it on Stock Market Reports. I am BC Adebayo.
Many thanks, BC. In the meantime, most of the leading global equities closed higher today on the back of a robust German export data, as well the impressive US June employment figures on Friday. Let's take a look at the numbers. And that's Business News Tonight. Many thanks for watching. It's back to you, Marathi.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Millicent. One of Nigeria's major producers of vegetable cooking oil, Raffle Spar Oil, in association with the Nigerian Heart Foundation, has joined in the global campaign for keeping a healthy lifestyle by working out on its Walk for Life campaign. At the National Stadium in Lagos, the management of Raffle Spar Oil said it is supporting a long and healthy lifestyle with its cholesterol-free cooking oil, while it's also using the road walk as an example of keeping fit.
Teeming youth from different walks of life convene at the National Stadium in Surulere, Lagos, as Raffle Spar Oil, in conjunction with Nigerian Heart Foundation, leads the campaign to make bold its message of keeping a healthy lifestyle through constant exercise. While making an intense advocacy for weight loss, reduction in cholesterol level, and keeping the heart in good shape, the Walk for a Healthy Life campaign by Raffle Spar Oil comes with fanfare and some aerobics to set the mood for the road walk. They set out for the long walk from the National Stadium in Lagos in a carnival-like setting, crossing some routes down to Gostain and then back to the National Stadium. The teeming youths return in excitement, feeling accomplished. Power Oil is saying this is the way to go in order to live a long and healthy lifestyle.
We are promoting a very healthy lifestyle. Power Oil is cholesterol-free, as you know, and is a heart-friendly oil. So the oil essence is for people to work their heart so that their hearts can be in good condition.
We are encouraging Nigerians to be more health conscious and work for a better heart.
Raffle Power Oil also identifies with the yearnings of the youth by featuring guest celebrities like Funny Bone and Sound Sultan.
Something that I really appreciate, the fact that they've taken it, a tad bit higher than just keeping it in the kitchen and telling people, in fact, yes, you can eat healthy. You should always, imbibe that culture in your lifestyle, walking and exercising.
After all said and done, Raffle Power Oil is set to match this campaign by supporting a healthy life with the introduction of its cooking oil product, which it says is free of cholesterol and trans fat.
Outside Nigeria, the refugee crisis in Germany looks to be easing as the government puts in place plans for the process of acceptance and integration of over 1 million of refugees. Our correspondent Loretta Chogo was in the city of Bonn, the former capital of West Germany, where she met with a few refugee migrants who shared some of their experiences.
The once dim history is giving way to brighter days as the dawn breaks. Their minds are made to face their future squarely by kicking out their fears and challenges. Alt-Godesberg Stadium in the quiet town of Godesberg in Bonn, Germany, is where some refugees from some African and Asian countries that have been troubled by wars and unrest now find rest. Mohammed Farah, a Somali refugee, says he found his way to Germany after escaping the Somali crisis. He had stayed in Ethiopia refugee camp for 8 years before making up his mind to face the difficult routes of migration from Sudan to Libya, Italy, and then finally to Germany. A deadly road and sea journeys that lasted 7 months.
I'm coming to Germany before 2015. I'm coming from Somalia. Now I'm 17. I'm coming before in Somalia, I'm 16. It's problem in Somalia. That's why I'm living in Somalia.
Mohammed can now speak the German language after almost 2 years in the land. He says the Youth Welfare Office gives him 40 euros every week for his upkeep, while still supplying food. He's determined to change his pathetic story of being an orphan. Godesberg is one of the communities within the city of Bonn supporting refugees' acceptance and integration. That's according to the coaches. They call for an end to crisis in war-torn countries.
The first young people came from Syria, and their parents sent them to Germany because they shouldn't come into the war, and they shouldn't become soldiers, and so they sent them over the Mittelmeer, over the sea to Europe and to Germany.
Honestly, the government has been doing a lot of very, very good work. I mean, it's hard work. You can't do everything. You can't solve the problem in a year and 2 years. But I see a lot of people around here, a lot of helpers, everyone making great strides, and we're getting a lot of support as well, be it donation money coming in from locals, things like that. So if we can keep this momentum going, then that'll definitely help.
About 150 refugees made their way into the city of Bonn every week when the refugee crisis began in November 2015. According to the mayor of Bonn, 180 nations are in the city. He says 4,000 refugees entered Bonn.
Well, we do not have special laws in Bonn. We do have our federal laws concerning refugees, and it's written down in our constitution. It's in Article 16 of our constitution that everybody, those persons have the right to come to Germany and to get asylum over here. But only for those reasons. So for economic reasons, there is no right of asylum over here.
For the mayor, he hopes there can be an even distribution of the over 1 million refugees in the country by decongesting some cities in Germany of bloated population. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Still ahead of the news at 10, Super Eagles chief coach Salisu Yusuf invites 30 home-based players ahead of next month's Africa Nations Championship qualifier. That will come up in sports news. Please join us again.